Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of YXE Underground. I'm Eric Anderson, and in this episode, we are going to learn about a new and innovative project from Elmwood Residences that is going to make a real difference in Saskatoon's disability community. It's called the Elmwood Community Hub, and you might remember it being discussed in our last episode that highlighted the work being done at Elmwood's community homes throughout Saskatoon. The Community Hub, which, if everything goes well, will open in 2030, will sit on the grounds of the current Elmwood Manor on Arlington Avenue and will feature a variety of amenities including a performance theater, life skills kitchen, and residential units. It was fascinating to learn about the Community Hub when I was working with the Elmwood team on the last episode, and it just made sense to do a separate episode focusing on the project and why such a space is needed in Saskatoon. I was lucky to sit down with Dani Carr, Maggie Stevenson, and Jackie Smith to learn more about the project. Dani is the executive director of Elmwood Residences, and it was wonderful to meet her for this episode. I was at Elmwood's Fall Feast fundraiser in October, where Dani delivered an incredible speech about the work the organization does for people with intellectual disabilities, so it was really nice to meet her in this kind of setting. Maggie is the manager of community engagement for Elmwood, and as you will hear in our conversation, is extremely excited about the Community Hub and its potential to make a difference in Saskatoon. Jackie is a former Elmwood board member whose brother was cared for by Elmwood for many years. She is also excited for how the Community Hub could change Saskatoon for the better. I met Dani, Maggie, and Jackie at the Elmwood Manor, and we all sat down in one of the boardrooms to discuss the Community Hub. I will put a link to the Community Hub's website in the show notes, as well as a link to the previous episode on Elmwood's community housing program. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this bonus episode.
I'm Dani Carr, Executive Director at Elmwood Residences.
And I'm Maggie Stevenson, the Manager of Community Engagement.
I'm Jackie Smith. I do not work at Elmwood. I was on the board for many years, and I have a brother who lived at Elmwood for I forget how many years, a lot of years. Yeah. Yes.
Who would like to begin in terms of telling listeners about the hub? The honor goes to Maggie.
Okay, that's me. It is our next evolution of Elmwood. We are moving into the future as the way we serve people with disabilities has really evolved. We know there's better ways than we've done it in our past. And the Elmwood Community Hub is really going to be a space where we can really bring all of their opportunities together. So we're building a purpose-built facility that will allow us to provide more engagement opportunities for those with disabilities, including programming within our facility, including commercially leased health and wellness spaces, as well as an accessible apartment building. So we're pulling in a number of components that are going to really support the disability community to ensure that they have opportunities that they haven't had before.
Where did this idea come from?
Well, this idea has come from our Manor Transition Initiative. So currently our facility is a residential provider receiving 24/7 care. However, we've been moving to more of a group home model, and members have been moving into community. So as a result of that, we knew that we had this piece of land, and what do we want to do with it? So our board of directors has been working for many years. We've been connecting with other disability sector organizations in the community to see what the gaps and the barriers are that the community is facing, and how can we make this space really beneficial for the community as a whole.
So I think it's one thing to identify those gaps and see where they exist, but it's another to say, I see the gaps. We as an organization are going to do something about it. Why is this so important to Elmwood?
I think it comes back to our founders, and I'll call out Jackie a little bit. They only wanted the best for their loved ones and for all people with disabilities. And this is the evolution of that. We can't stay stagnant. Our history and our research is forever evolving, and we want to be there with it as the next step for services for people with disabilities.
Jackie, when you heard about the hub for the first time, what went through your mind?
Well, I think it's an amazing idea. I know my parents would think it was an amazing idea. My dad, it was Al Anderson, and he was one of the founders of Elmwood. And he always tells a story about he and Mom went to, many meetings, but they were at a particular meeting to talk about various services for handicapped children. And they met Howard and Rita Stendrud at this meeting. And, as he said, they became lifelong friends, and their children were about the same ages. Doug and his daughter Joanne were very close in age. And so they just decided, well, we need a few more things, and let's figure out how to do it. And Dad was always very much the idea guy. He would have all kinds of ideas, and we should do this, and we should do this, and we should do this. And Howard was very much the boots on the ground. Well, I can go find the money. So they worked very well together. And when Doug moved into the group home that he lived in, was probably...
And Doug is your brother, correct?
Doug is my brother. He probably moved in, I think it was in the early 90s. And he and Howard and Rita's daughter Joanne lived in the same house. And he lived there for 30 years. And it was amazing. Totally amazing. He was the middle of 5 children. And so Elmwood has just been something we have grown up with. It's just been part of our lives.
And then, so as the planning has continued on with the hub, like, do you see this as kind of like a natural extension of what Elmwood started and where it's going as an organization?
Well, I think so. I mean, it started as the first thing I remember was there was a resource home on Preston, which is still one of the houses today. And so if you were, if parents were going away for the weekend, for a week, they needed a break, their children could go live there for a few days. And that was the beginning, I believe. And then eventually the manor was built and then on to group homes. And so I think this is an amazing transition again into something that is even more community minded. And, the folks that Elmwood serves deserve the same community life that everybody else has. And this will make things much easier for that because everything will actually be accessible to them.
Yes.
I got a good one to add. We had the pleasure about 4 years ago to talk to Joan and Al Anderson about manor transition and a little bit about the hub. We weren't as far down the road in our conceptual design yet, but one thing that really spoke to me when we were talking to Al was that he said Elmwood Residences was never meant to be one place. It's plural for a reason, and it was meant to evolve. And he just fully supported it, and I have so much respect for that.
When you received that support from him, then what was it like? How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like he was giving us permission to dream, which is all he ever wanted, I think. Yeah.
I think sometimes too, like that. I think that permission is important because I think the work that you do at Elmwood is so important, but it's hard work, isn't it? And so to have, like, to be able to take a step back and to dream big, like, that must be nice.
It's incredible. That kind of freedom, it's powerful. It's a little bit scary, but it's how else are we going to evolve as a society and like treat everybody equally and give them opportunities?
Maggie, can I ask you a little bit more in terms of like the details of the hub? Because I remember the first time we met and you showed me a pamphlet and my mind was blown because like there's going to be so many things, so many amenities, so many different qualities that are going to make the hub unique. But can you explain a little bit more in terms of what all is involved with the hub?
Yeah, definitely. So we're really excited to build, first and foremost, the interconnected support piece of the project. This is where programming and community engagement will really come to life. This is a space where we will be able to triple our day programming service opportunities. So we currently operate a day program here at Elmwood for about 30 individuals, and we're anticipating with larger spaces and more amenities, we can serve anywhere from 90 to 100 individuals. So really helping reduce some wait lists that our community is facing in terms of accessing programs and support. Really within that interconnected support space, it's really about personal growth, making sure that those we serve have access to learn in the same way that we do and build on their personal skills. So whether that's taking a literacy club program, whether that's participating in art for their mental health, or whether that's performing on stage for hundreds of people in the theater, there's lots of opportunity. And some of the spaces we're really excited for is a non-denominational spiritual and cultural room where people can come in and practice their religions and their beliefs in a space that's accessible for them. We're really excited to build a art studio with all adaptive equipment and materials and supplies. We're looking forward to a skills kitchen, which is similar to like your home ec style kitchen, but think of accessibility in mind when you're thinking about that. So we offer like a breakfast club and a baking club and things like that, but those we serve often can't put the food into the oven itself because the oven door opens into your lap if you're in a wheelchair. Totally unsafe. So by building an accessible kitchen with, an oven door that opens to the side, or timers that, not only just make sound, but do lights for those that are, hard of hearing, making sure that that's a space where they can empower themselves to learn, cook, and grow with their neighbors. And that's something that we're really looking forward to. And we know members of our SILP team especially, because they want to get together, create meals, and we know food brings people together, fill their freezers with meal plans, and do that through their peers. And some of the other areas we're really excited for is our Employment Skills Cafe. This is a accessible coffee shop that will employ people with disabilities, providing them with vocational training opportunities. So giving them that first chance and getting that job, giving them the restaurant experience, and then hopefully they take that off and go somewhere else into the environment in the community and really find that job that's meaningful for them. So we have a lot of different spaces that we're looking forward to that'll all have different impacts, and we're really excited to kind of see it all come to life.
That's amazing. And then there's a housing element to this as well, right?
Yes, we're looking at building a 140 unit accessible apartment building. Not staffed like a typical group home. It is literally an apartment building, but with above average accessibility standards built in, or at least the ability to adapt to, like, for example, put a lift in so there's reinforcements in the ceiling and that kind of stuff. And then this would be a mix of affordable and market rate units, with the affordable units being targeted for people with intellectual disabilities who currently live in the community.
What has this been like to, you were talking earlier, Dani, about like dreaming big, and then to actually like start to think about these things and to plan it? Like what has that been like, to the point where, like, Maggie, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, you handed me a brochure with everything on it. Like, you're at that stage. What has the process been like?
It's been fun and exciting to know, I started at Elmwood 5 years ago, and when I came, this was on the horizon as a project. And it's been really exciting to see the foundation that Elmwood has been building to get to this point. And now that we're talking about it, we're bringing in donors, we're bringing in partners, we're bringing in health professionals and people interested in living in the building. And we're really starting to see the impact of that. People are getting excited, and it's just one step and one milestone after another that's really just making sure that this is going to happen for our community, and it's going to impact a lot of lives. So it's been really exciting to be a part of.
That's awesome. Anything to add there, Dan?
That was pretty good.
I've had fun doing it. Yeah. So
I echo that it's been fun and exciting. It's been eye-opening for a lot of people. If you don't have that direct connection to the disability sector, you often don't realize what barriers are out there. And including me, I didn't have a direct connection before working here either. And it's just been, I learn something every single day, I swear. And even just getting to know people with disabilities, the pure, genuine emotion and caring and understanding and wanting to be present, like, this community deserves to have the focus on them and the support of the entire city of Saskatoon.
Jackie, how, viewing this work from a bit of distance, like, how necessary is the hub in Saskatoon?
Oh, I think it is very necessary. Elmwood has evolved from, a resource home in a house to the manor housing. How many people lived here at its
height? 50.
Yeah, 50 people. Yeah. To however many group homes now with more people. And each step of the way has has been great for more community involvement, like living in the community, meeting your neighbors. And now this will be something else that people who can't maybe, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but who still need more help than what they're currently getting can come here, can learn things, can be with their peers, and also with community members, because this is not strictly for intellectually disabled people. It's for, I mean, for example, the Skills Cafe is a cafe for anybody who wants to come. So I think it's great.
You bring up a really good point about community, and that was one of the things that stood out to me spending a morning in one of the community homes on Preston, was the importance of people who are living in the homes to be well known in the community. And the Market Mall was brought up several times in terms of, like, you know, the residents there are known at Market Mall, and you're known in that community. But I'm picturing the hub as like that's just gonna bring so many people together, which is gonna help, make people well known within the greater community. I don't know if there's a question there, but I just think that's really neat what you guys are doing.
Yeah, like I can kind of add to that. Like I think one of the things that we're really excited to see is to see programs and workshops happening where people with disabilities and normal abilities are engaging with one another. Mm-hmm. You know, in our skills kitchen, we might be hosting a sushi making class, and it could be for members of the public and for people we serve. It can be, you know, a brother and a sister coming in to do that, whereas doing those types of things right now is a real challenge to find the accessibility and to participate in those. We have residents who want to engage in paint nights, but, you know, accessibility wise to get to the venue is really challenging for many of them. So to have these spaces where they can feel like a member of their community and engage with the everyday public is going to be really impactful for them. And I think it'll be really impactful for the rest of us in the community as well, to really just see that they are who they are, and they're members of our community as well, and they have the same dreams, wishes, and hopes that we do, and they have the capacity to do that. And I think the more that they're out in the community, the better it'll be for everybody.
Yeah, totally agree. I was very fortunate to attend your fall feast at the end of October, and lots of things stood out to me, not the least of which was your amazing speech, Dani, but we don't have to talk about that. I won't put you on the spot, but it was amazing. But one of the things that really stood out to me too was just all the relationships and partnerships that you have made, you know, here in Saskatoon, but also at like a provincial level too. And I'm assuming like you've like, what has that process been like to, you know, when you're working with your partners to say, like, you know, we're dreaming big and this is what we're doing now and we'd love your help. Like what's that been like?
It's been
good and busy.
Yeah, it's like busy. I don't know. It's been rewarding, for sure. Again, people who may not have a direct connection, just teaching them about our people and what's out there and the possibilities. It's like, it's energizing. It's fun. It's, you know, getting people on board. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that we currently work with so many amazing partners who have supported Elmwood and the disability community for many, many years. And to share this vision with them has been incredible because, you know, they are jumping right on board with us and they can see the evolution that we've been working towards. And to be able to share this with our current partners and find new partners who are passionate about this, who are, you know, making major donations and who are sharing it within their networks and really just sharing and learning about the sector as a whole has been really impactful because the more conversations we have about Elmwood and the sector and those that we serve, the better our community is going to be. And we can already see that through the individual conversations we're having on a weekly basis.
That's awesome to hear. You've been very generous with your time, so thank you so much for that. If there are people that want to learn more or they want to donate to the hub, where can we send them to?
Yeah, so we just recently launched our own micro website. So I invite you to visit us at www.elmwoodhub.com. And there you'll actually find our contact information, a brief overview about the project, as well as my information there. So just invite you to visit there and you'll be able to find us.
Is there anything else about the hub, the process, any other observations, anything else that I missed that you want to say, that you want people to know about?
I'd like to add that the community hub isn't just for Elmwood and the people that we support. It's for all of Saskatoon. It's for all disability organizations all of the spaces, well, most of the spaces will be able to be rented out if other day programs want to come. This isn't specifically for Elmwood. This is for the greater community.
Jackie, is there something within the hub that you're really excited for? Like, are you a cook? Do you perform on stage? Are you an artist? Is there anything that stands out that you're just like, you can't wait for?
Well, none of those things.
I appreciate your honesty.
At least not for me personally. For my dad, it would be the stage. He would love to perform on a stage. Yeah. He did love that. I think it's just, the whole thing is just such a wonderful idea. And I think, as Dani said before, it's great to dream, and Dad was a dreamer, so this is perfect. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I should ask too before we go. When will when are we going to see the hub? Yeah. Like, when does is there a timeline at all?
So, tentative timeline, we still have 8 people who call this manor building home. So we're hoping that they will move out into their brand new community homes this time next year, so fall 2026. And then we'll have about a 3-year build, hoping to knock this down in spring 2027 and with a grand opening in 2030, wow. As long as everything goes.
Which sounds like a long time away, but it's really not, is it?
No, it'll be here in a blink, I'm sure.
I feel like we just announced the Manor Transition Initiative when there was 32 residents here, and that was 2021. It's 2025. We have 8 residents left here. Like, it's almost been 3 years and we've accomplished so much. So I feel like time is just going to go so much faster as we get more and more into the complexity of how to build a building, and working with our construction manager on that piece, and really just starting to see the ground take shape. I think is going to be, really exciting.
That's great. Thank you so much for not only sharing your passion for this, but for including me and I guess the opportunity to share the story, because I think it's so wonderful what you're doing, and it's going to have a huge impact, like you said, not only on Elmwood residents, but the entire community as well. Like, it's going to be amazing, and 2030 will be here in no time. If I'm still doing the podcast, can I get a tour in 2030?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We can give you a pre-tour.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you guys so much, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.